I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater. Most of this season has been rightly described as a Monster of the Week series, much like what Lost in Space descended into. I get the feeling Irwin couldn't help himself. It's the natural direction his mind went regardless of the series. If the first few scenes are any indication, our monster this week is a bunch of natural disasters portrayed by all kinds of stock footage. But no, the monster is what's causing all that stuff. Captain Crane is on his way to it in the flying sub right now.
We're not picking up the clouds on our instruments. What luck are you having?
It's out there, all right. It's about 25 miles dead ahead.
All right, circle it. Get radiation readings and full camera coverage. Start your cameras now.
Cameras are on.
I'll keep them rolling. But don't make contact with the cloud itself, understand? Anything unusual happens, you'll let me know.
Every scientific detector on Earth says that cloud is the center and cause of all the disruption, and it's getting severe enough that it's threatening to tear the planet apart. Suddenly, Crane reports that he's being pulled into the cloud by some mysterious force. This is an Irwin Allen show. We expected anything else? This is my gripe with all of his shows. They uniformly reach a point where everything is predictable because he's done it a dozen times before. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy watching them, but it does mean that when I put on the reviewer hat, bet you didn't know that's what this... I told you they're stalking me. You thought this was a cheap captain's hat that I picked up for $6 in a souvenir shop on Catalina. Okay, it's both. When I put on the reviewer hat, it means I have to tear the episode to shreds. As you probably know by now, I was born to make people laugh. It's hard to tear the thing apart and make people laugh about it, but let's see what we can do.
Are you at the cloud yet, Nelson?
Yes, sir, we have it in sight. You're still convinced that this is the cause of all the disasters?
Well, there's no question about it. Ever since that cloud suddenly appeared in the Pacific 3 weeks ago, unbelievable catastrophe has struck the world. We're being torn apart. All instruments show that the cloud is the center of the shock waves.
Well, Captain Crane is circling it in the flying sub right now. On the basis of his findings, we'll take action.
Now, just remember, we've sent a dozen ships and planes into that cloud and never heard from them again. And we've had no luck penetrating it with our heaviest nuclear weapons.
Nothing seems to penetrate it. They've lost all kinds of people and equipment, and even nukes haven't had any effect. So they're depending on the Seaview to do what that hasn't already failed.
24 hours. That's how long our computers give us before our planet disintegrates completely. Now, I understand you've taken only a skeleton crew because this could be a suicide mission. You're our last hope. Good luck.
I still don't know what he expects the Seaview to do, but they're on their way to do it. As quick as they hear from Crane, they'll take action, whatever that may be. But all they're hearing from Crane is the Irwin Allen equivalent of, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, and suddenly he's off the air. There's a good reason for that. Whatever pulled the flying sub into that cloud knocked him around until it knocked him out. Did you ever wonder how much somebody got paid to come up with that outfit? This guy looks ridiculous enough, but he's very serious about the cloud and what it's doing. The Seaview has arrived at the perimeter of the cloud.
Sonar contact dead ahead. Range 300 yards.
Very good speed.
020 degrees, flying speed.
Right on the nose for entry under the cloud, sir.
Or not. There's some kind of barrier in the way and suddenly nothing works. Let's see what it looks like.
How could that cloud be underwater?
Ever gone scuba diving in Puget Sound? You'll find out how possible underwater cloudiness is.
Control room from engineering. Control room from engineering. Come in, please.
This is the exec, Kowalski. What's the damage report?
I can't tell you, sir.
What does that mean?
Everything checks out A-OK, sir. I'd say there was no damage sustained at all except for one thing.
There's no response to the control.
That's right, sir.
It's all working except it doesn't work. That sounds like every science fair project I ever tried to do in school. But there's a bit of good news.
Admiral, it's a flying sub. She's coming in on our homing device.
And since it can't fly itself, that must mean Captain Crane is at least alive. They can't get inside the cloud, but for some reason he can get out of it.
How are you, Lee? Everything all right?
That's the cloud out there.
That's right.
I thought we were outside the cloud, not in it.
We are. I still don't know how you got back out, because the Seaview couldn't get inside.
Everything's all right.
What's the matter?
I'm fine.
Touchy, touchy. I promise you Chip washes his hands regularly. Relax.
Lee, you okay?
Oh, why shouldn't I be? The cloud is nothing more than a whirlwind inside. The air currents pull me in. I was knocked out by the buffeting, and when I came to, I returned here to the Seaview.
Well, there must have been more to it than that.
No, not a thing.
Well, there couldn't be just wind inside the cloud. What about the earthquakes, tidal waves, volcanoes? Half the world is being shattered, and Washington says the cloud is the center of all the force waves.
I don't care what Washington says. I was there, and there's nothing but wind and mist.
I don't care how good of friends you are, it's not a good idea to talk to the Admiral like that. Chip knows Crane even better than Nelson does, and he can see something's wonky.
All right. Whatever happened, you've still been through a rough time. As soon as you get the film, you better go to your cabin and have a rest.
Film? What film?
Now Chip knows something is off. The film was the whole reason for going out in the first place. Admiral Nelson isn't even remotely suspicious enough, and when Crane explains it away due to the knock on the head, Nelson buys it. Crane says, "I'll go get it now." He won't allow anybody else to help him.
Mother, please. I'd rather do it myself.
Something's wrong with him.
No. But still, I think you better go down there and give him a hand.
Aye, sir.
Admiral, can you, Mr. Morton, come here for a minute, please?
What is it, Chief?
We're getting some dangerous readings on the heat sensors. I think you better check them out.
Isn't that convenient?
For Crane, or whoever he is, definitely. It gives him the freedom to do what he was going to do anyway. I thought Superman was the only one who had heat vision. That takes care of the film, though those flames are getting pretty big for that confined space.
You are doing well. So far, they suspect nothing.
But they will. We can't keep this up indefinitely.
There is no need. In a few hours, their world will be gone.
Then why is all this necessary?
They do possess some small scientific attributes with which we are not familiar.
Nukes, for example. They don't know what those are, so they want to study us for a while before they wipe us and our planet out. How scientific of them. The alien says we know they're planning something, and it's up to you to keep them from succeeding, whatever it is they intend to do. The boys in Washington are saying the Seaview is Earth's only hope, but they still haven't told us what the Seaview is supposed to do that's different from what's already been tried. Sharky's heat readings say the temperature outside is 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 27,760 Celsius, which means the sub should be a puddle of raw metal by now, but it's not. Where's the temperature coming from?
Well, the heat bearing is 0 to 0 degrees.
The cloud.
The range is about 3,000 yards, sir. That's the best I can read it.
That's approximate for the center of the cloud. I think we're beginning to get some answers. Intense heat like this could not only cause the earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, it could actually vaporize the Earth's crust.
The flying sub only ran into wind inside that cloud.
I wonder. Lee must have felt some of that heat. The instrument. By the way, where is he? He should be back here with that film by now.
I don't know, but I can tell you where he isn't, the flying sub. I can also tell you what he doesn't have, usable film.
Well, sir, what do we do about all this? Cloud outside, the heat, and the things happening topside of the world?
Well, it's simple. We go inside the cloud and find out what's going on.
Well, sir, that'll be fine, but we did try that once before, remember?
Yes, but we have a key to unlock that barrier.
Sir?
Heat-seeking torpedoes. Now go down to the missile room and arrange a spread of 4 of them for firing.
I get it. The heat inside could pull them through that barrier, could bust it wide open for us.
That is the idea. Now, get moving.
Right, sir.
He has a plan for when they get inside the cloud, but he's not telling it yet. Chip is in the flying sub. It'll take both Nelson and Patterson to get him out of there and get the fire out. He got a snoot full of smoke and a little bop on the head, but otherwise he's okay. The film canister is still too hot to handle.
Positive it was burning on the table in the flying sub before the quake hit us.
No sign of Lee.
None.
Patterson.
Yes, sir?
Captain Crane's somewhere aboard. Find him and tell him to report to me here on the double.
Aye, sir. Any suggestion as to where I might start?
No, none. And just find him.
Aye, sir.
The sub isn't that big. It shouldn't take you more than a day or two.
We've got our power back.
We'll test the controls.
Controls are operative.
Patterson,
Yes, sir.
try the circuitry room first.
Can we agree that the circuitry room should be in the opening credits? It gets as much airtime as our 2 stars do. It only seems fair. He'll tell himself that he must have pushed the button to do that and just forgot he did it. I'm not sure his self is convinced, but for now neither of them has a better explanation. Crane spends a little more time in the circuitry room, waving his hands and making lots of Irwin Allen pyrotechnics, but when Chief Sharkey reports that the torpedoes are ready to fire and Nelson says to stand by, he heads for the missile room.
Sir, the Admiral said he wants you to report to the control room right away.
Did he say why?
No, sir. Just that it was urgent.
All right. You 2 men come with me. We're going to the missile room.
But, sir, the Admiral said he wanted you to go to the control room.
I said to the missile room, sailor. Let's go.
Aye, sir.
Captain Crane doesn't talk to his men like that. Everybody is getting weirded out.
What are you doing there, Chief?
Oh, sir. Just following the Admiral's orders. He wants these torpedoes loaded.
Belay it.
Sir?
I said belay it. We're not going to fire those torpedoes.
Are you countermanding my orders?
That's right. The torpedoes are not going to be fired.
This is also something Captain Crane doesn't do. He'd go to the Admiral privately and explain why he didn't want them fired. It's out of character to get in the Admiral's face like this, too.
Well, we'll discuss this later. You join Mr. Morton in the control room.
There's nothing to discuss. I've made the decision. The torpedoes will not be fired.
Chief, you place the captain under arrest, escort him to his quarters.
It won't be the first time he's had to do that. Captain Crane has a special talent for getting himself into the kinds of messes that require it.
If you will come with me, sir. If you will go with me to your quarters, sir, I'm sure we can...
Patterson, Kowalski. Hold it.
And he sure isn't strong enough to do that. Nelson says, okay, you're obviously not Captain Crane. Who are you?
Commander Lee Crane, captain of this ship.
No. No, whoever you are, you're not Lee Crane.
What you believe doesn't matter. You're helpless. You can't escape us.
Us, huh? Must have come from that cloud. But whatever you are, you're not going to stop us from firing those torpedoes.
Admiral, you've encountered close to a dozen different aliens now. Has a 45 ever worked on any of them? Spoiler, it won't work on this one either. What torpedo? One Irwin Allen travel explosion and it's somewhere else. But they have several more. However, another Irwin Allen travel explosion and the Admiral is gone. They don't have an extra one of those.
Mr. Morton, there's an emergency in the missile room.
What happened?
It's the skipper, sir, Captain Crane. He...
What's the matter with the captain?
Why, well, that is,
He wiped their memories of what just happened, so they know it was something really urgent, but they can't recall what. Mr. Morton knows these men. He can't say what's wrong with them now, but if they say something was going on in the missile room, even if they can't tell him what it was, he'll arm all three of them and go see about it. Calls to the missile room are going unanswered, mostly because there's nobody down there now but Sharky, and he's still out cold.
Admiral? Mr. Morton, this is the chief. We've got an emergency down here in the missile room. You better get here fast, sir.
Chief, we heard you on the way.
Skeep. Patterson, what?
Where's the Admiral and Captain Crane?
I don't know, sir. I just came to here and there was just...
All right, till we find let's proceed as scheduled. Get those torpedoes loaded. We're still going to try to blast into that cloud.
Aye, sir.
I have to say, Mr. Morton is a bit more efficient than the captain and the admiral. They would have spent the next several minutes trying to get blood out of these three turnips, even though they can't remember a thing. Chip hears where it's heading and says, never mind, let's get back on track. Even when they can't explain the missing torpedo, he's not going to dwell on it at the expense of carrying out the Admiral's orders. There have been times when I suspect that he should be in charge of the boat. Nothing has happened today to change that.
Where am I?
You are with us, Earthling. You are here in our domain.
Where are you?
I am here beside you.
Why don't you make yourself visible to me?
I am visible. It is only your eyes that do not wish to see. But that is easily corrected. If you want to see, merely look.
This guy likes to play games with your head. He says, this isn't exactly what we look like, but it's as close as your feeble brains can handle. My, we must think we're pitifully ugly, mustn't we? Obviously, they're inside the cloud, and maybe Nelson can get some answers.
Obviously, the cloud is of your making, and just as obviously, you intend to destroy the Earth. Well, why are you so considerate of my feelings?
You are an unusually interesting specimen of human, as are the others with you. We wish to make a study before your final disposal.
Okay, he resembles what passes for a guinea pig on your world. Why are you destroying ours?
Look, that is the world we come from.
Yeah, you come from a volcanic planet, so?
So we are doing to you, extracting the metals from your Earth with the forces inside this cloud.
Till the Earth disintegrates.
Perhaps.
Unless we stop you.
Still prepared to defy us, even though the cause is hopeless.
Well, they're still alive, and Seaview still exists.
And I shall return you to her. It will be amusing to watch your futile attempt to do battle with the masters of the universe.
He-Man called. He's suing for copyright infringement. Venus and Mars are already dead planets. Seems to me either of them would fit his needs better. But Irwin discovered that transporting the Seaview to Venus cost way too much, so he had to keep it here on Earth.
Wait,
Yes?
Lee Crane, that man you changed into, well, something. Where is he?
He is here with us. We are making a study of him, learning what passes for thought process in the human mind.
I'll bet thought processes like kindness, decency, and love are blowing the crap out of their instruments. But he's alive, and that thing on the Seaview isn't him, so they're free to do whatever they have to do in order to deal with it. He returns Nelson to the Seaview without the explosions this time, because Irwin only had the budget for so many cherry bombs. The place is deserted. Nobody's answering calls. The corridors and rooms are empty. Admiral Nelson asked his captor to send Lee back with him so they could all at least die together. But did he do it, or is that the fake one again? Is it live, or is it Memorex? If you get that one, congratulations on being old like me. We beat the alternative.
Admiral? What's going on here, anyway?
Well, that's a good question, Lee. If you are, Lee.
If I am.
Where did you just come from?
From the flying sub, of course. You sent me to get the film I took of the cloud, remember?
Uh-huh. So, where is it?
Well, why is the chief loading the torpedoes?
Never mind that. Why is the chief standing there when he wasn't 10 seconds ago?
What's going on here, Chief?
Just following the Admiral's orders. He wants these torpedoes loaded.
Belay it.
Sir?
I said belay it. We're not going to fire those torpedoes.
Are you countermanding my orders?
That's right. The torpedoes are not going to be fired. Not until the automatic timing devices are locked into place.
I think it was Yogi Berra who said it's deja vu all over again, except this time it ends differently. This time they fire the torpedoes. They do indeed open a hole in the barrier, and Chip drives us through at flank speed. We're in. The explosions knocked out everybody in the missile room, but somehow Captain Crane is standing solid.
Well done. We now have their weapons for study. Give them exactly 20 more minutes. Then the forces destroying the Earth will be irreversible. At that time, you will also destroy them.
That answers that question, as if we didn't know. Except for the fake captain, Chip is the only one conscious.
Chip, what happened to the Admiral?
When the torpedoes went off, he was rammed into the wiring over there. It must be acute electrical shock.
Then why aren't you taking care of him? What are you doing there?
His orders were to enter the cloud at flank speed if we blasted the barrier. We did, and we are.
I'm sorry I didn't understand. I'll try to help him.
I'm pretty sure nobody needs the kind of help he's giving the Admiral.
Lee, I just thought the missiles, if we can... What are you?
Stay where you are.
Metal. You're not Crane. You're a thing from that cloud.
You know I have to do it.
You're not Sylvia. You're one of the kung fu creatures on the rampage. Two.
I don't know who you are, what you really are. You take one more step and I'll blast you.
You, with your puny weapons. Do you think you can hurt me?
He'll do more than hurt you given the chance. Pseudo Crane waves his hands over some stuff, sets off a bunch of sparks to set the boat rocking, and slips away.
All right, sir?
Yes, I'm all right. Did those torpedoes work?
We're inside the cloud. We're dead in the water again. Lee's responsible for that. Well, not Lee exactly. That is the...
Yeah, I know. He's one of them.
How do you know?
And he tried to wipe my mind clear of what they did before, but it didn't work. Where is he now?
Well, he got away. The laser gun hurt him, but it didn't stop him.
Find him. Arm yourself with anything you can, but find him and stop him.
Might one suggest a laser pistol, since we've established that it works and the Colts don't?
What are you going to do now?
I'm going to fire every missile aboard into that cloud.
That guy in Washington said that Nelson suspected it could be a suicide mission, and it looks like it is. Setting off half a dozen nukes over your own head doesn't contribute much to personal longevity. And I think Chip is wishing he'd worn his dark pants today. Fake Crane is back in the good old circuitry room. I'm telling you, the opening credits need to be Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, starring Richard Basehart, David Hedison, The Circuitry Room, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Control room, this is the chief. We need some help down here in the missile room. Control room, can you read me? We need some help down here. Patterson is hurt. Come in. Come in.
Chief, this is the exec. The Admiral's on his way down there now. Stand by to fire missiles. Stand by to fire missiles.
Aye, sir.
He can't have that. He shorts more stuff out and the missile controls are fried for the kabillionth time. They'll have to do it manually. Since that's how they end up doing it every time anyway, why not keep a little of your budget and forget the automated controls? They're broken more than they're fixed anyway. Go manual and save. Chip found Crane and wound up unconscious on the floor. Better get those missiles fired before the alien reaches the missile room.
Wait. The 25,000 volts in that.
Don't worry, sir. I'll handle it as carefully as my grandmother's egg basket.
And his grandmother's chickens laid some powerful eggs.
Fire. Sir? Mm-hmm. Being this close to a nuclear detonation, what I mean, sir, is, those missiles aren't exactly cap guns. I guess we've all had it.
He only just now thought of that.
Just hope the Earth hasn't. Yeah, well, if we bust up the cloud people, I suppose it'll be, well worth it.
You haven't yet, and you won't. We only let you live this long to learn your nuclear secrets.
The way he talks, they intercepted and captured the missiles to learn their secrets since they didn't detonate. His people don't have anything like that. One secret about those missiles that they'll learn in a few seconds is the principle of a delayed fuse. In this case, 1 minute, which just ran out. He was going to reverse the controls, though I'm not sure what he meant by that. Whatever his plan was, it took too long. He's dead, and the cloud is gone. That also means any more of his guys who were in there are so much water vapor now. And the Seaview came out of it without a scratch.
What is that?
That, Chief, is a loose end being tied up in the most awkward way possible. If the aliens all blew up, who did that and how? It's like this, Chief. Stardom carries some awesome rewards. The last thing Crane remembers is being in the flying sub. So how'd he end up on the floor in the missile room?
All right, let's find Chip and get underway. We've got a long report to make to Washington. I wonder how much of it they're going to believe.
How much of your previous reports have they believed? He can use the report to fill in the gaps in Lee's memory. Lee especially liked the part where he was made of metal and throwing everybody around. He asked if they could do that again, but the Admiral said no.
All I gotta do is breathe underwater. Breathe underwater. Breathe underwater.
Whatever that may be. Like every science fair project, slow down.